So you have 130,000, he used
65,000.
Broke the rules, supposed to use 10% as, my rules. The first day, he lost about 70% because that trade did not work as we wanted it to work. So he did not cut the losses. He was like, you know what, I've lost all this, but the good thing, the trade had like 2 weeks for the expiration, day. So he was like, you know what, I'll keep it. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday or whatever, it will go down. So he did not take the losses, just stayed on that trade. Guess what, on the weekend?
Wadau, umechoka na internet problems? Kwanza, who the hell is Buffett? Say goodbye to all your internet problems by plugging to the Sigmoid Group, professional installers on mtandao, especially kama ni Starlink. You're looking for installation in an apartment block, single dwelling home, ushago, whichever corner of this country. You're looking for professional installers, consultation to the whole process, mpaka uswitch on mtandao uione kwa nyumba. Contact details to Sigmoid Group, ndio hizi tumekuwekea hapa kwa screen. Consider yourself plugged.
Hey, wadau, our guest for this episode, anaitwa Phylis Njuguna. She is an options and futures trader pale, I believe, inafall kwa stock market, right?
Yes.
She has a beautiful story na leo tunataka tuichambue yote. We'll go deep and you'll allow me, so for the hesabu ya dollars kidogo tutakenyanize so that I do kienyeji mathematics. Our exchange rate ya dollar itakuwa 130 na sababu mambo ni mengi na masaa ni machache, we'll dive right into it. Phylis trains in mambo ya options na futures trading. And I mean, sana from when we started a conversation, from when I was introduced to her, that this is different from Forex, okay? So, and Phylis, let me just, I believe the best place to start this conversation with a question. And it was interesting that over the phone, uliniambia, it's something that people have asked. That if there's so much money hapo kwa hii options na nini trading, why are you inviting others to come finish the money? And you have a beautiful response to it. Please take us through why. Let me just actually put it to you. Kama pesa ni mingi hivyo, why are you inviting others to come into Kenya is a land of gatekeeping. Why are you inviting other people to
Yes, that's a good question. And first of all, I'm so excited to be here and to meet you. I love your content. And it was like, I need to meet Dr. Kingori. So I'm so excited to be here. Excited to come to Kenya. And, this is home. I come every now and then. Yeah, so the question that you've asked me, just know that we trade the New York Stock Exchange market. And we trade over 10,000 companies. And if you've seen those candles, those are not just candles. Just a single candle is billions of money being exchanged. So I remember the example that I gave you is, and I think I had given that example somewhere else. If, for example, there's no water, so there's no, and then I discover there is Indian Ocean where you can get water, and I just have my one bucket. Whether I tell you or I don't tell you, I can only get one bucket from Indian Ocean. But what about, I tell you, hey, there is this Indian Ocean, come get, your one bucket of water and then give me $10 because of telling you that there's water there. So whether I tell people or not, I can only make so much money. If all the money that I have is 1 million, I can only make like maybe 10% or 20%, whether I tell people or I don't tell people. So that's the reason why it will not reduce anything for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa, thank you. So now, let's start with the basics, okay?
Yes.
Forex trading is, to a great extent, I would say, betting on currencies, right? Not betting on currencies, trading on currencies.
Yes, trading on currencies.
As in foreign currencies.
Yes.
But options and futures, this is having a stake in companies that are listed
Yes.
In this case, not the Nairobi Stock Exchange. This is the New York Stock Exchange.
Correct.
Okay?
Yes.
So what are options and futures?
Yes, so I'll describe first what is options trading, because some people confuse it with binary options, and I think we have something else. So this is stocks options.
Stocks options.
Stocks options.
So tuanze na stocks.
Yes.
Stocks ni shares in publicly listed companies.
Yes, yes.
So in Kenya, the way we have Safaricom as a publicly listed company, Equity as a publicly listed company.
Yes.
So stocks is a share of that.
Yes, correct. Is a share of that.
Okay.
Yes. So what happened is we have companies, good companies, and let me just ask you, I'm not really sure whether you are a trader or not. If right now I give you $1 million and tell you buy companies, US companies, what will you buy?
US companies.
Even if you don't have
Nvidia right
That's
now.
the thing. You'll buy Nvidia, you'll buy Tesla, you'll buy Microsoft.
Apple.
Why? Apple. You'll buy Meta. Because those are the things that you see every day. You use them. You see every time on the news. And those are strong companies which have records. You know, even, you know, when they, you know, something like when coronavirus came, you know, they went down, but they bounced back. So what happens, these nice and beautiful companies, which everybody would like to invest in, they are expensive. They are expensive. Because, for example, if Tesla, and I'm just throwing in a figure, don't be like, oh, Tesla is not 500. I'm just throwing in a figure. If Tesla is $500, which you said in Kenya money, how much is that? $500?
Around 60K.
Around 60K, one share. For you to invest in share, how much in Tesla, how much money you need to have? It's a lot of money.
So that's one share is 60K.
One share is 60K.
Okay.
So for you to really get good profit, you know, we're
Just
talking about
10
Tesla.
shares, 600,000.
Yes, which you'll not really make so much, because if Tesla goes up by $1, you'll not really make that much money. So it reached a point that the rich people, those people who have $500, $1 million, those were the ones who could afford these nice, good, and stable companies.
So the nice, good, and mini companies are the ones listed as S&P 500?
Most of them. S&P 500,
all of them?
Not all of them. But S&P 500, the companies that really controls it are the big companies, the ones that we've really mentioned. So S&P 500 it has 500 companies. But Nvidia, Meta, Tesla, and all those are the ones that really hold the S&P 500.
Oh, it's not like it's 500 companies like Akina Nvidia, Facebook,
and Tesla. Others very small companies. It's them, but the others companies, they are very small, such that they don't really change, anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can get like, and I'm still throwing figures. You can get like Nvidia, Tesla. They take like all those, about 6 companies. They take like 60% or 70% of the S&P 500.
And sasa now the market that you are trading on need 10,000 companies.
Yeah, 10,000 companies.
So to put this in context, in Mudokinjo, Georgia branch.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like it's small listed companies in the US, so you own a piece of that.
Yes, you own so are you talking, so let me just continue to explain about what options is. So me and you who just have like maybe 200,000 Kenya shillings, we cannot really afford to buy shares of Tesla. That's how options trading came in. Because with options, you can invest in Tesla, but not really buying shares. You'll buy contracts for Tesla. These contracts, they give you the right to buy or sell Tesla at a certain price.
So Sunana, you've saved my confusion. My initial understanding was that the option means you're investing in other companies that are affordable. So that's not the case.
No, that's not the case.
This is a fraction of the share, not a fraction of the share, a contract that allows you some stake.
Yes, you will not, in options trading, you will not really be a shareholder. In fact, if you are trading, if you buy Tesla as a stock. You're now, or a shareholder.
Mm.
When they're making profit, you'll make some dividends.
And you can wear Tesla t-shirts around.
Yes.
as an owner.
And you can keep it for 10, 20 years. Nobody will ask you. But if you're buying options for Tesla, you have to choose a date. These are contracts that have expiration date. So you have to, for example, you have to be sure that in 3 months' time, Tesla will go up. So you've done your analysis, whether you've done technical analysis or fundamental analysis, you know that in 3 months' time, Tesla will go up. So you'll buy contracts that will expire in 3 months' time. And the good thing with these contracts, you are not obligated to stay all the way to 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
If you're buying Tesla contracts, options contracts that will expire in 3 months' time, and it goes up tomorrow, you've made, $100, you can get out of those contracts. You're not obligated to stay all the way until the end of the contract.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but if you stay at the end of the contract, you have to come out of those contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What happens if you overstay? Do they visa you? Like, you have a contract for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then somehow you forget.
Yes.
And you overstay. What happens?
So, options, these contracts, there are so many things, some terminologies are, allow me, I'll be throwing in words that you might not understand.
If I don't, I'll ask.
Yes, we have something like called in the money and out of the money contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So in the money contracts, these are contracts that are already above the price. So if Tesla is $500, you buy, so when you are buying these, you choose them by the strike prices. The strike prices are the price that you expect Tesla to go to. So if Tesla is 500 and you're expecting it to go to 520 in the next 3 months, you'll buy 520 strike price. And if Tesla will not go to that price by end month, you will lose. There's something we call decay. You'll start losing that, slowly by slowly. By expiration date, if they are still out of the money, you lose everything. So options are dangerous. They're risky. And how do we go about it? If Tesla does not move within 1 or 2 weeks, we get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
We take either our profits or either our losses and we get out.
Mm-hmm.
Because by expiration day, Tesla needs to be in the money. So that means if you had bought 520 calls, Tesla needs to go above 520. But otherwise, exit that trade, whether it's in losses or whether it's in profit, exit it. Because if it will not be in the money by expiration date, you will lose everything.
To bring this closer home so that we don't get lost.
Yes.
This is like, options are like a bad marriage, where it's not for better or for worse. Ukianza kuona dalili ya things are going bad,
yes, unatoka mapema, before it's too late. Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's options.
That's options.
So, to give context again, if let's say I got access to 10 million Kenya shillings.
Yes.
And NVIDIA stock price is going for, NVIDIA stock price is going for, let me Kenyanize, 60K Kenya shillings, right?
Yes.
A share.
Yes.
And I have 10 million.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think I can bet on the shares kidogo with 10 million Kenya shillings in terms of volumes.
Yes.
Why would I go for options? Why would you advise that I go for options or go for stocks now that I can move volumes?
If you have that kind of money, I can advise you can do like 90% stocks or shares, because the good thing with shares, you can stay as long as you want. For example, again, coronavirus. When coronavirus came in, all the companies went 50% down, others went out. But in trading, we say you don't lose until you sell. So if you had shares...
In shares?
In trading. Because let's say you had invested, 100,000. Now coronavirus has come and all your stocks are down. Now the value of your money is 50,000. So if you sell it, then you've lost. You've taken the loss. But you can wait. So for the people who waited like 1 or 2 years, those companies came back and even, went higher than they were.
Okay.
So that's the good thing about buying shares. But those people who had options which were expiring in like a month, they were out.
They were wiped out.
Wiped out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa. So hiyo tumeanza juu. Let's come low kidogo. You introduced the concept. I have understood the concept of options.
Yes.
So now there's something called a trade. I believe we covered this with Rufus, but I would like to hear how you would explain it.
Yes.
Like a trade. Okay?
Yeah.
First of all, before we go to the concept I want to introduce, what's a trade?
What's a trade? Yeah, to simplify this, let's bring it like the lowest level you can understand. You know marikiti. You go, you find somebody selling tomatoes at $5. You buy to them. Next, you find somebody who wants to buy tomatoes, sell to them at $6, make that profit and go. That's a trade.
Good.
Yeah.
Hapo iko sawa.
Iko sawa.
But sasa in the context of options and futures,
Yes.
you log into a system. We'll get to what this system where you trade in is, right?
Yeah.
I believe Rufus explained it in such a way that it opens at this time, it closes at this time.
Yes.
So this is a marikiti of?
Of of NYSC.
Bas.
Yeah.
So how does it work?
Yes, so the New York, the New York time, for us, we open at 9:30 in the morning and closes at 4 p.m. But I think Kenyan time is 5:30 p.m. to, I don't know, to maybe midnight. I can't really know exactly what time. Yeah.
Oh, so it's New York time.
New York time, yeah. New York session.
So kitu ikikudanganya tena ati Kenyan time, pia you lose.
Yes. So kama uko Kenya, it's 5:30 p.m.
Okay, so wakifungua soko asubuhi, they open the market in the morning.
Yes.
So what's happening? You log in, you check the stocks, you buy whatever the options you want to choose, and then you close. Where I'm going with this, I'm looking at the day trader.
Yes.
A day trader is someone who's pushing pesa kidogo, where you're building. You're loading up, right? To probably grow into buying stocks.
Yes.
So I'm looking at a Kenyan, akona, let's say 20,000 shillings. Does that qualify to trade?
No. Okay. Not in options.
Not in options?
Yes.
Options cut off ni pesa ngapi?
So options, the minimum that for me I say should be $1,000. $1,000. Which is 130,000, yeah?
130,000.
Yes.
So, this is, to a great extent, this is dynasty stuff. To most Kenyans, because but traders wakona pesa. So, 130,000.
Yes.
You know? Let's say this is your operating capital.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Assuming this is your operating capital. You enter a trade.
Yes.
Is this a practical example?
Yes.
You enter a trade.
Yeah.
What's the potential of how much you can make with this? I know you can.
So one thing, one thing, you are not trading with 130,000. In fact, the rule of trading, we are supposed to trade with 1% of that money. 1%.
Okay.
What's 1% of that?
1,000 bob?
Is it? It
yes.
should be 1,000 bob?
Yes.
Yes.
1,000 bob, 1,300.
Yeah, that's what is really recommended.
Yes.
You know why? Because the risk to reward ratio. So that even if you lose this trade and you lose the other one and you lose the other one, and you still have money to trade.
Oh, they are so kind. They don't want to eat you at once. They want to eat you slowly.
Yes, not really eat you slowly or eat you at once. It's just the recommended risk to reward, and it's on every business, Even if you're a farmer, even if you're a farmer, and you just don't use all your money to plant maize or whatever.
I know you can win big, but it's a kind way of chewing, because they chew people properly if you go without thinking,
Yes, you can lose quite good money
Yes,
in
yes,
the
yes.
stock exchange.
So now they have an option to chew you slowly if you go without information.
Yes, but the thing is just, as I'm explaining, the risk to reward ratio, so that you can still be in the market. Even if you lose 10 times or 20 times, you still have money to trade. But if you trade with all this money or 50% of the money, and that trade goes against you, you're done. And that's what most people are doing.
Thank you. For a beginner with $1,000, 130K,
yeah,
you've entered the market, right?
Yeah.
You're trading with 1%, let's say 1,400 Kenya shillings, okay? You're trading with 1,400. What does this look like? This is your stake into a trade.
Yeah. So first of all, that's the recommended 1%. But we don't really follow that, because 1% you won't really. For me and my group, my company, we use 10% at least. Because
So
with 1% you can't. That's not even. It's recommended
for a beginner.
Yeah.
For a beginner, yes.
Yes.
So we can do the math and then multiply by 10%. What does it look like?
So are we talking about the strategy? So for example, the strategy that I have.
Yes.
So we use 10% of that.
Okay.
So that's 130K.
Yes.
So using 10%, how much is that? You're using 13,000?
13,000, yes.
Yes. So most of my trades, they will make 50% profit.
So it means if you go in with 13K, you are most likely to get 6,500.
Yes, 6,500. And so the trades that I have, or the system that I have, they have 70 to 80% win rate. So sometimes we will lose. When we lose, we cut our losses. Same thing, 50%.
So tell me if this math makes sense. 70 to 80% win rate. So inamaanisha, assuming you're operating daily with a 13K, but your stock, you're playing with $1,000, which is 130K.
Yes.
So if you're playing with 13K, you go in daily with the 13K, let's say 13,000.
Yeah.
50%, that comes to 6,500.
Yes.
And let's assume you trade 30 days a month.
Yes.
That is 195,000. But if you put an 80% win rate, that means you would be guaranteed 156,000 per month.
So I will say this. Trading is not just that you'll be guaranteed you'll be. There is the part of the trades and the system that I give you. I'll give you the rules to follow, but will you follow?
That's why I'm saying, if you follow the rules,
yes,
and at 80% success rate.
Yeah.
If you follow the rules, you're not betting. Let me not use betting.
I don't like it.
You're staking 13,000, which is 10% of your $1,000 stake, right? You're operating at 10%. At discipline, at no given point, utaingia soko ya New York no more than 13,000.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you do that for 30 days consistently. If you follow the rules, does this mean that from a capital investment of 13,000 as a percentage of your capital, right?
Yes.
You could actually make 150,000 Kenyan shillings.
Yes, and you can make more. You can make more. And I shared with you. One of the people that I had. He didn't follow the rules.
Lay it in context. What happened?
So the rules were: I give you a trade, you make 50% profit, get out. You lose 50%, get out. The guy went on a trade and closed the computer. It was a Tesla trade, and we were buying, so on options, when, we have calls and puts. So calls, we buy calls when we're expecting Tesla to go up, and then we'll buy puts when we're expecting Tesla to go down. And I'm not using the word, we don't just expect, we use a lot of analysis. So we had bought puts. So this guy, first of all, broke the rules. He used 50% of his money to get on the trade. So you have 130,000. He used 65,000. Broke the rules. Supposed to use 10% as, my rules. The first day, he lost about 70%. Because that trade did not work as we wanted it to work. So he did not cut the losses. He was like, you know what, I've lost all this, but the good thing, the trade had like 2 weeks for the expiration, day. So he was like, you know what, I'll keep it. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday or whatever, it will go down. So he did not take the losses, just stayed on that trade. Guess what? On the weekend, Trump and Elon Musk, they were fighting. You remember that? Tesla went down. The guy woke up to $15,000. Yeah. $15,000 on Monday.
$15,000 or $15?
$15,000.
Okay.
You wanna do how much that is?
Oh, I'm lost kidogo. He did not check out when he got 50% loss.
He did not.
He broke the rules.
Yes.
Trump and Elon Musk get into a tiff, right?
Yes.
Get into a tiff, and then this means that
Yeah.
Tesla stocks are taking a dive, right? If Tesla stock, so option means I'm betting on Trump's feelings. So now takes a dive, right?
Yes.
So if it takes a dive, it means he's losing more.
No, because we had bought options that Tesla will go down. My analysis was showing me that Tesla is going down, and that's why I gave them puts. Because remember, we buy puts when we believe, our analysis tells us that Tesla will go down. So we bought puts, but Tesla it didn't work that day. It didn't work that day, but it worked later. So yeah, he made a lot of money.
So how long does it take for someone to understand these terminologies? Kama, mimi sahi, I'm feeling like a dogo modai when I'm trying to wrap my head around the concept of puts. No, mimi, I was reasoning now.
You thought that Tesla,
stocks going up, going down based on Bilume bet.
Yeah.
Bilume stick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trading has a lot of something to do with passion. Passion. Because guess what? If you are passionate, you see when you guys wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Facebook. Maybe you look like, who divorced who did that? For me, I'm just like, what did Tesla do? What did Microsoft do? Like when I wake up in the morning, that's all, after praying, of course. That's the first thing I do. Like passion. So you just, it's kind of, it's your world. It's your world. You just keep on like, what is going on? Like now we are, Christmas rally and all that. You should know those things. It's a lifestyle. So you'll just find yourself, and those options has a lot of terms that Yeah, it takes you a minute to understanding the system and all that. Yeah.
So is this like when you say it's a lifestyle, can someone take it as a job? Because we in conversations that I've had with my friend Rufus Kamau, we really went back and forth over the idea of how random the stock market is, whichever, be it in Forex, be it in options and futures.
Yes.
It is purely random.
Yes.
Because you don't know how Trump will wake up tomorrow. You don't know what his feelings would be. A single tweet could wipe out your 10 million Kenyan shillings.
Yes, but these are my what can I say? It's
opinions.
Not my opinions. Those news, they follow the market. It doesn't matter. We have what is it called? Interest rate is coming to decide. If the market is supposed to go down, he will say something to make the market go down. Those things I'm telling you, if you are good in technical analysis, very good in that, the news follow that. They follow that.
To define
anything that Trump will talk about, if the market is so much overextended, because the stock market and all that is like a rubber band. There's just so much you can expand it. It will reach a point that it will need to come back down and then expand again.
So you need to know how to predict the patterns.
That technical analysis, patterns and all that. And that's why I am 100% technical analyst kind of a trader.
Technical analysis, fundamental analysis. What's the difference between the two?
So fundamental analysis is whereby you analyze the market according to, for example, if I'm looking at Equity Bank or whatever, I will look at what's the profit and loss, how much does it make, how much are the earnings, how much PE ratio and all those. You analyze the company according to all those things. So that's fundamental analysis. Does it have how many employees does it have? Does it have all those things? So that's fundamental analysis. And then technical analysis is where we have indicators, patterns, charts, candlesticks. And talking about indicators, we have thousands and thousands of indicators, a lot of indicators.
Okay.
So let nobody lie to you that, oh, VWAP is the best, MACD is the best, RSI is the best.
What are those?
Sorry. So those are some of the indicators. Those are some of the indicators that we use when we are analyzing the market. For me, what I can advise somebody, take an indicator and use it over and over and over and over again. And then look at a day that, for example, if we're trading gold, look at a day that gold did so well. It went up, it made so much money. Come back to your indicator. How did that indicator sit on that trade? I gave you an example of VWAP because it's my best indicator. Anytime a trade is working well, it has to be trading above the VWAP because VWAP is a volume average weighted price. So if the VWAP that's the average according to the people buying, for example, let's go back to Tesla. If Tesla is $500, the VWAP is volume average price. So if the VWAP is 500 and Tesla is at 510, 520, there is something that's going on, is above the average. So look at those indicators, how they're sitting on. So I will not tell you that this is the best indicator. Look at what works for you and then work with that. And you cannot just use one single indicator. You have to use a lot. You have to study candlesticks, know what they do, because do you know what a candlestick is? Yeah, so candlestick is just buyers and sellers. It indicates that. So once you see a very big candlestick, they have names, some of them like the bullish engulfing candle. Those are the bulls. The bulls are the people who are buying. They want the market to go up. So bullish engulfing candles, the market is going up, Some candles, doji. What's a doji candles? It's a candle that looks like a cross. The buyers and sellers are fighting. The sellers are selling, the buyers are buying, and then it brings a doji.
Okay.
So that's how takes you a minute to analyze the market and use different indicators.
For the person watching, and this is a common question.
Yeah.
I have 200,000, what can I invest in? This is someone who has never heard of bonds, stock markets, hedge funds, whatever, right?
Yes.
And if you are to advocate for your business or your industry, your options and futures, right?
Yes.
How would you advise this person? First of all, they know nothing.
Yes. So I don't know if you want us to first cover what is futures trading or you just want me to?
Co-options too.
Co-options too?
Futures, yes.
Okay. So co-options too, because for you to get a trade by yourself, it will take you a minute. So you need somebody who is experienced who can give you the alerts. And that's how I come in, because I have a community of traders. And my job is to give them trades. So I'll be like, buy Meta, buy Tesla, buy this. Because I've done my analysis and I know they will either go up or down. I will tell you to do that. Because by the time you reach a point that you can analyze and do that, especially being a day trader or a swing trader, take you some years.
So, and I asked Rufus Kamau this question. He's my friend. Sorry, I'm referencing him.
Yeah, because I watched
like
that interview.
Much,
Yeah.
So now, assuming
Yes.
I'm your friend,
Yes.
and your experience,
Yes.
So nikupigie nikwambie niko na ka 200 kenye kananisumbua hapa but I don't want to spend it. I want to eat the profit.
Yes.
And I've downloaded the view app na hizo system I've set up.
Yes.
Niingie New York kidogo nitengeneze ka 10,000 for me to spend that day.
Yes.
And you know the trade.
Yes.
Wouldn't you tell me? Nunua Facebook leo ama Nvidia.
Yeah, so you need to join my group. I charge subscription fee, $100, and then, you know, you'll all get the trade.
You can't give me a leakage of the trade.
No, no.
You know where the money is being made. But
you join the group. Again, that trade might win. 80% chances it will win. 20% it will lose.
If it lose, my money drinks water.
Remember, we cut the losses. Cut the losses. And remember what I talked about, risk to reward ratio. Risk to reward. For us, we are only using 10%. So if you start with 130K, you spent 13,000, you cut your losses at 6.5. How much you still have? You still have 90. How much is that? 93, 500, whatever, to get another trade. Another trade, you'll still use your 13,000. And having a 70 to 80% win rate, meaning if I give 10 trades, 7 will pass, 3 will fail.
Oh, so these trades is not at soko ikifunguliwa, you will open one trade and that's the trade for the day. In that group, you'll give trades and people are staking money.
Yes.
So you will win on. Okay, so I've understood. Not at when you have 130,000.
Yes.
At you're staking the 13,000 of that. You can stake in batches.
Yes.
13,000.
Yes, you take in batches. Yeah. So you might lose on the first trade. You've taken your loss. The second trade comes, you win.
So let's go back to on a good day. I love mathematics here, on a good day. Okay?
Yeah.
On a good day, you give 10 trades. Okay?
Yes.
10 trades in a manisha, if you win on 7 trades, it's 6,500 times 6,500 times 7.
Yes.
You have made 45,000 on this particular day for the trades that I've I've won.
Yeah.
So then you also come and you do this. So now 45,000, 45,000. So first 7 trades, umetengeneza 45 minus you make 26,000. So that is on a day where you participated in 10 trades.
Yes.
You can take home 26,000.
Yes.
That is at a 70% success rate.
Yeah, if you follow the rules. But remember, that is the hardest thing. The hardest thing in trading is something called discipline. Following the rules, discipline is the hardest thing.
Why are you talking to me like Nico? Sina adabu. I'm working with the best case scenario.
And let me tell you, do you know the enemy of a trader? It's you.
Hey, I've studied here, but I agreed. So assuming I'm in the group and I get 7 trades correct, that's 26,000.
Yeah.
And if I do that for 30 days, I can actually quit trading because I'm asking as an ordinary Kenyan.
Yeah.
Because in that month, I would have staked the best case scenario at 70% success rate.
Yeah.
I would have staked 130,000, but that month I make 780,000.
It's possible. It's possible. But as I say this, in trading, we don't give guarantees. I will never guarantee you anything.
So my adabu is not a guarantee as I'm thinking.
Because let me tell you what really happens, Dr. Kingori.
Yes.
I told you, take 50% profit. I told you that. But I give you a trade. That trade will make 1,000% profit. And you took 50%, you're like, oh my God, I wish I never got out. I could have made 500,000. Next day, same thing. What will happen the third day? Will you take 50%? You will not. Because yesterday you took 50%, the trade Because, you know, you can continue to monitor the trade. You do. You can see where that trade went. You see that a lot. Another thing is the profit. Sometimes you've made, I wish I could share my, you know, the screenshots of my, you know, Discord community. Everybody's like, I had made $500 profit. I wish I took it. Because in your mind, you want to make 600. It's just something stupid. Or let's say you want to make 500. You will make 480, but you have just something in your mind that you want to make 500. And before you make that, it will start going down all the way to zero.
But if I am disciplined, you know, I'm still marveling at, at first I was doing mathematics at using just 10% the whole month. I did not factor in 10 trades in a month.
Yes.
But now nikiwork na 10% in 10 trades in a nini, I could be earning as a deputy governor. Nini pesa ya deputy governor iko hapa?
Yes, let me tell you, trading has money. Trading has money. But the biggest thing is discipline and psychology. Those are the hardest thing that you'll ever face. I'm still struggling with them. After all these years.
We're coming to your personal experience.
Yes.
Tell us futures trading kwanza ni nini.
And just to, maybe something that I forgot to mention on options. On options, we use less money, very less money. So very less money is used to control big money. On your example that you said, if you have $1 million, whatever, dollars or Kenya shillings, and I said, yeah, I can recommend you buy shares, you know, or maybe 90% buy shares, 10% buy options. But somebody else who has 100,000, let's call it Kenya shillings, and you have 1 million Kenya shillings. With the person who has 100,000 or 50,000, both of you can buy. So you've bought Tesla shares, and then they've bought Tesla options. You spent 1 million, but I only spent 50,000. If Tesla goes up by, let's say, $5, we will both make the same amount of profit.
Put that for us in figures.
Because one option contract controls 100 shares. Controls 100 shares. So these contracts, options contracts, they have different prices. So if I'm buying calls contracts for Tesla because I believe Tesla will go up, I can only spend like $200. You know, I keep on saying dollars. But for you, you spend, because you're buying shares. Of course, you have the advantage of, if anything goes down or anything happens, I can stay on these trades even for 5 years until Tesla will come up. But for me, the disadvantage, if anything happens, maybe I'm out.
Okay.
But if Tesla goes up, let's say $5 or $10, we will both make the same amount of profits. And you see, most of these hedge funds, they're options. Most of them do options because they can risk very less money to make more money. So they have a higher, a higher rate of
return.
Yeah.
So 100K on options can make more than 1 million shillings in shares.
Oh, the same. Yeah, if they go the same way.
If the market goes the same direction.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. So assuming a person has staked 1 million shillings in stocks,
Yeah.
Now we may stake 100,000.
Yes.
And the profit is 200,000.
Yes.
The 100,000 guy also gets 200K.
Say that again.
As in, if the profit in terms of what comes from the trade, the person who has staked 1 million shillings in stocks,
yes,
and the person who has 100,000,
yes,
they will get the same exact amount of money. So if mtu wa 1 million gets 200,000 profit, you also get 200,000 profit.
Yes, but it's not constant. It's not that always.
If all factors remain constant
yes.
in a single trade.
Yes. Yeah.
So hapa ni adabu na analysis.
Yes. And that's why options is now for the people who don't have so much money, because they can use less money to control big money.
And sasa, when you stake 100,000 and you get the same profit, as the person who you stake 100,000 in options,
Yeah.
and someone had staked 1 million in shares, and you get the same money. See, happen the devil comes in.
Yes.
You wish you had staked 1 million.
Yes, yes. And that's how the next day you get 1 million, you put all of it. Yeah. Not follow the rules now.
So can you set aside your trading money? You say, man, I will always be trading with $1,000. I will only be eating the profit.
You can do that. You have to be very disciplined, very disciplined. It reached a point that in my group, because what happens is I used to give trades in the morning. And after the trade, everybody would be like, I made this, I made this, I made this. But by 4 p.m., almost everybody's negative. Because they kept on, there's something called overtrading. So in trading, what I can tell you is form your own rules. I will not give you rules. Form your own rules. For example, I will only be trading 3 trades per day. I will only be using 13,000 per day. Another rule, like the rule that I have, anytime I make a loss, I stand up and go. I leave. Because the most dangerous trade is the trade that you place immediately after losing. Revenge trading, revenge trading, revenge trading. So anytime I lose, I just stand up and go for 10 minutes. Then I come back and then refocus.
You lose again.
Once you have your rules and you can follow them, yeah, you're now, you are on the good way of controlling your...
Okay.
Yeah.
This looks like you've paid school fees by losing for you to start. Tell us about a day where ulijichuna masikio, figuratively as we speak, like you will not repeat this again. Tell us like the stake you made, why you lost.
Most of it is that revenge trading, because you had made like $2,000 profit, and then you did not come out. It has gone down now. It's 1,000. Instead of you,
still profit.
It's still profit. It's 1,000 now. But instead of you taking it, you're like, I wanted to, I know I had made 2,000. Yes. You wanted to go back there, and then you come and lose it all.
And 2,000, you mean in a single trade?
Yes, in a single trade, but it depends. So with options, what happens is this. These options contracts, they are, even if when I'm giving the trades, I will tell you one contract, for example, it costs, let's say 10,000 Kenya shillings, or 13,000. So it's upon you to buy. Will you buy 1? Will you buy 3? Will you buy 5? It's upon you. So in the group, people who have money, they'll even buy 10. People, 1, 5, it all depends. So that's why I will give a trade, but you'll see people say, I've made 500. Another person, I've made 150. Another person, I've made 5,000. It depends with how much did they put in. Yeah.
How many options they bought?
How many options contracts they bought.
Okay.
Yeah. Futures trading. So remember, options, we're trading stocks, individual stocks companies. Yeah. We have a lot of companies. We have Chinese companies. We have PDD, we have Baidu, we have Futu.
Chinese?
Yeah.
PDD is a company?
Yeah.
In US, PDD and the company?
It's a Chinese company.
Okay.
And also, American company, a lot of companies. So we trade those. We also trade index, like, S&P 500 and all that. But in futures, we trade assets and commodities. Assets and commodities. So we trade the index. So we'll be trading the S&P 500. We'll be trading the NASDAQ. We'll be trading the Dow Jones. We'll be trading the crude oil. We trade coffee. We trade corn. We trade sugar. We trade livestock. We trade silver. We trade gold. We trade platinum.
This is giving derivative vibes.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so Yes, the futures, you can still trade using your money, but in my group, in my community, we've never traded using our money. We trade using something called prop firms. And also prop firms is in Forex trading too. They have prop firms too.
I thought before we endelee,
Yeah.
explain your prop firms, because I thought we would actually come to this. Prop firms. As you continue with that explanation, prop firms meaning, let me say something wrong, alafu ni correct.
Yeah.
Prop firms are companies that give you free money to trade.
Yeah, so that's your explanation. I will give you my explanation. So yes, prop firms, they give you money to trade in the agreement that if you make a profit, they will share with you. So they assume you're a good trader, you're a great trader, we'll give you this money to trade. If you make profit, we'll share. But they don't know if you're a trader or not. They don't know. So what do? They give you like a test. So they give you a test. If you pass this test, then we'll give you now the real money whereby we will share profits.
And it's not small money.
Yes. So at first, they'll give you a simulated money. So they don't give you real money. They'll give you an account that has
fake money, monopoly money.
Yeah, at first is fake money, simulated money. But they'll give you rules. For example, for us, we use an account, a $50,000 account.
$50,000 account?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
So this account, you buy it. You buy it, and we have different types of prop firms. Some prop firms sell it at $50, others sell at $77, $100, depending on what, different kinds of prop firms.
These around $50,000, this is like 6.5 million. Unapewa, like, I like to Kenyanize so that people know how much money we are talking about.
Yes, but there is something that I want people to understand, of which people think that, yes, we have been given $50,000. But on these rules, for example, the $50,000, you're supposed to make a profit of $3,000, and you cannot lose $2,000. So in the real sense, $2,000 is how much you are being given. Because that's the only money you're playing with. It's the same thing like you're talking about 130K. If we can only trade with 13K, that's the only money that we are given.
But still makes sense. If someone gives you, so this, let me give you a scenario.
Yeah.
Someone gets into trading, you learn, you click, you become good, and then you get a test in a prop firm that you don't have to stick your money. They'll give you like $50,000 to play with.
Yes.
If let's say, for example, the profit agreement, the profit agreement is $3,000 minimum. You're supposed to make that, right? So, $3,000.
Yes.
How much are they taking from that? You keep 80%?
Yes, you keep 80%, they take 20%.
Kienyeji mathematics, that's 300,000.
Yes.
So if this give you, if you are good, like if you can build the skill of trading, that you get access to a prop firm, then they give you an account.
Yes.
To play with, right?
Yeah.
Now wanataka to profit ya $3,000 on a capital to play with, $50,000.
Yes.
On one trade, you have a potential of making 300,000.
On one trade?
Okay. The profit is made in a month, ama is the $3,000 is made in a month?
No, the time is unlimited.
Time is unlimited.
Yes.
So if you trade every day, that's money you can make in a day. Because you have $50,000.
So some prop firms have different rules. Some of them say you need 5 days to make that money. They have limitations.
You have 5 days to make that money.
Yeah. So you can't just make it in a day. Most of them,
that's a good deal. Because if you can consistently play with that within 5 days, you have a potential of making 1.2 million, and it's not your money.
Yes, you can.
Na hii ni wameshatoa pesa yao.
Yeah, so remember this. 90%, for example, 90% will not reach this level. And that's how they're making money out of you.
Because they are lazy or they're indisciplined?
Because trading is not easy. Trading is not easy.
Umesema soko is there for you to take.
Yes.
Correct me. Soko is there for you to take.
Yes.
Umeshaenda unataka you are unemployed.
Yeah.
You are an unemployed Kenyan. You hustle, you save your 200,000.
Yeah.
You learn to trade the skill. Okay?
Yeah.
You start to learn the skill, you unaingia market na bare minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say $2,000, which is 260, but you hata usiende huko. Let's come with $1,000.
Yeah.
Inamaanisha you play like the 10 trades in a day.
Yes.
You take time, you learn the skill.
Yes.
You get access to a prop firm.
Yes.
Wakupatie access to $50,000 to play with.
Yes.
Which gives you a potential to earn the president's salary, ya 1.2 million. Am I living in a utopia? Man, I'm not catching very well.
It's not easy to make that kind of money. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy to make that kind of money.
But at 50% success rate, kwa hiyo ya prop firms, you are still over 600,000 Kenya shillings per month. That means you can live well.
So I don't know if I'm understanding you. How much did you say you those figures that you brought?
Twende pole pole.
Yeah.
You have aced the exam ya kuingia kwa prop firm.
Yes.
They give you an account that within 5 days you should make a profit of $3,000.
Yes.
Assuming you ace that, sindio?
Yes.
So you made $3,000 in 5 days.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yeah.
So inamaanisha at 80%.
So remember, the first time is a challenge. You'll not be paid out of that. That is a challenge. After you've made 3,000, you've passed the challenge. Now we go to the next phase. Now they give you 50,000 to start over again.
Sasa mimi niko hapo kwa real money.
Yes. Yeah.
So hapo kwa real money, if they give you a target ya $3,000,
yeah,
and you make your 80%, that's 2,400. I'm being an optimist.
Oh, okay. So Dr. Kingori, I think the confusion that's bringing here is the 80% is the win rate, is the trades that I'm giving. The trades that I'm giving is not the money amount of it.
I'm not making 80% of the 3,000.
No, you can make, but we are not. It's not that. The 80% is the win rate. It means if I give you 10 trades, 80% will work, 20% will fail. That's what we're counting for the 80%. But yes, you can make even that 3,000 in a day. But it's not that easy to even maintain that.
Let me climb down from my high horse, from my utopia world, okay?
Yeah.
Give me realistic numbers of someone with discipline.
Someone with discipline. The trades that I give, for example, for me in my community, we had somebody share their calendar for a whole month, a month that has, the trading days are they like 22 maybe or 20? She shared her calendar because she was only, so I live trade, I give trades every day. And we do NASDAQ. NASDAQ is our bread and butter. So most of us will take $500 profit per day. But she will only take $200. She will take it doesn't matter if that trade will make 5,000, she doesn't care. She will only make 200 and she will not trade again. And
she trades every day?
Every day.
20 days in a month?
Yeah. So she shared her calendar and she had I think she only lost 3 days. I think she had only 3 days losing. And remember, these are the trades that I'm giving. And we are 70 people in the group. But somebody else, you will make 400, you will not take it because you want to make 500 and that trade will go to zero. And you'll not even take the loss. You'll go to negative 500, that's when you'll come out. So at the end of the day, somebody said, I made 200, you're like, I lost 500. And that's why it's really hard to tell you how much you'll make.
So this goes to wale watu wanauliza wasichana wanatoa pesa wapi. Nimesikia tunaambiwa kuna msichana kanatengeneza.
But for her, remember, it's my trades. And it's the trades everybody gets in the group. But it's just discipline. Discipline. She will not trade again.
So, kuna kitu, let me, in the real world, outside trading, there's a debate that has never been concluded.
Okay.
If two people are walking
Yes.
on the road,
Yes.
and then they see money, a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
Someone sees it,
Yeah.
someone collects it.
Yeah.
Who does that money belong to?
The one who has collected it?
Not the one who saw it.
No, the one who collected it.
Wadau, pesa ni ya nani? Mwenye aliokota ama mwenye aliona? I hope we can end that because you said something very interesting.
Yes.
Your trades.
Yes.
Someone shows you that they've made $500,000, $1 million from your ideas.
Yes.
And then brings us to the question,
Yeah.
it is your trades.
Yes.
So this is an extension of your money.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yes.
An extension of your money.
Yes.
Like if you after you brought someone, mwambie shika hii pesa, weka hii trade, assuming you can't open an extra account, na umpe 20%, you get 80%. They have no right to complain. Right?
Yeah.
How do you manage, like you have, let's say, so do you also trade?
I do trade. And sometimes they make money more than me. Because sometimes...
And you're the expert.
I'm the expert. Because sometimes, especially discipline, psychology and all that. Because for me, I'm used to taking $1,000. So sometimes I'll make $700, $800, then it will start going down to zero. And everybody will be like, I made 200, I made 500, and I will not say anything.
So
discipline.
You don't use your own advice. My friend Otieno Mokala is doing that.
So it's not all the time. Most of the 80% I follow that, but I'm just trying to show you how that discipline and all that, and psychology and all those things, it can affect anyone, and it takes a lot of time to build it and maintain it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We veered off kidogo, but tulivia off
kwa futures trading, yeah. So we were talking about the prop firms, those companies. So I know you asked me a questions like, if these companies have all this money, why are they giving people to all that and all that? And I said, remember, this challenge account that you buy it. Maybe, whether it's $70, $100, or $50, 90% of the people will not pass these challenges.
Because they are lazy or indisciplined?
They don't have the strategy. Trading is not easy. You need a right strategy to trade. It's either somebody is giving you the trades, or you've learned and reached a level that you can get your own trades. So most people will just come be like, $50 is not that much. You fail. You buy another one, you fail. You buy another one, you fail. The companies are making money out of you. Because it's only 10% that will reach a place that now they will fund you, and anyways, they will still make 20% out of you. But the 90%, these companies will, get the money from you. So you need to outsmart them.
Outsmart them means?
Meaning that...
that's where you come up with systems?
Yeah, systems that you are not buying 30 accounts or 50 accounts, failing and buying. Get a system that it's normal to fail. I failed some challenges. You will fail one or two, but maybe the third one you pass it. Okay. And then, you start doing your thing, and then you start getting to your payouts.
Getting to your payouts. How long did it take you before you get to your payouts?
For me personally? First of all, I don't have a problem passing the challenges. I pass them very easy. I have a system, I pass them very easy. But sometimes, trading a simulated account is a bit different than trading the real account, because this one you're just like, it's just $50. If I fail, I'll buy another one. So I've passed, within 1 year, I've passed over 60 accounts. Yeah.
So simulated account is you buy an account with fake money to practice with.
Not to do the challenge, like to do the test.
And if you're good and you pass this test, you are in the meat.
Yes, but the rules still apply. Okay. You cannot lose $2,000. Yeah. If you lose $2,000, you failed, you go back to square one. Start the challenge again.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the people I subscribe to, whose ideas I subscribe to, Nasim Taleb, and he says that the life of a trader in the long term, over a period of time, is almost predictable. At some point, you'll get wiped out kabisa. Is it something someone can do for a lifetime?
Yes, you can do for a lifetime. That's the only thing I do. And, I live in the US, whereby we have lots of jobs, there's jobs everywhere. But that's all I do. That's all I do. And the good thing with trading, and, I urge Kenyan people, Kenyans are very smart. Kenyans are really smart.
Okay.
Because with trading, you can have clients all over the world. Okay. My clients are from UK, Nigeria, what, all over the place.
So,
yeah.
We may not exhaust everything in this episode.
Yes.
And you mentioned your community. Please, for someone watching, please forgive me for information in Sijagatha. Feel free to reach Phylis Njuguna, our producer ameweka namba yake and namba ya timu yake hapa, but you can reach her directly. But just for the sake of awareness,
yes.
When someone reaches out, they know what they are coming for.
Yeah.
You mentioned community. How does someone join the community?
So somebody joins the community. So the first thing is, if you don't know how to trade, you have zero ideas, you have to take the training. Because as I said, especially options it's a bit, a bit complicated. So, I've done this for 14 years. So you need to take the initial training, the introduction class. It's a 7 hours class divided into two 3 hours, or 3.5. And then after you're done with that, we get to paper trading, whereby we are trading on a simulated account for about 2 to 3 weeks, and then you can start using your real account. So, after the training, you join the group, $100 per month to access the live trades, to access the trades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a very interesting US story. I have fought myself not to bring up the story. You're probably one of the luckiest green card lotteries I've ever heard of in this world.
Yeah.
But I will stop myself, hopefully. Wadau, if you've enjoyed Good Vibes za Phylis Njeri na mnataka kusikia story yake ya US, please let us know in the comment section. Otherwise, if you're interested in options and futures trading, you can reach out to Phylis Njeri Phylis Njuguna.
Yeah.
I had a classmate in primary school.
Phylis Njeri. Yeah.
Is this something really for beginners? Or this something for someone who's looking to put some money on the side? Like something like a side hustle or a skill to multiply money on the side?
It can be both, but most people in the jobs are not really that much here in Kenya, so it can be like, once you commit to it, it can be a real job. Yeah. So on whether people should go to futures or options, I get it from the point of how much do you have. If you come and say, Phylis, I have 1 million Kenya shillings, we just go to options, because in options, we just trade real money. It's your money, you make profit, you withdraw the same day if you want, But if you're like, oh, Phylis, I just have 10,000, 20,000, whatever, we go to futures. We try these prop firms, we see if we pass them, we go to the other phase. And I think that's where most Kenyans will go to, I think futures will work better for them.
Sawa. If there's a question tumesahau, please tumewapatia Njaro ama the channel to reach out to Phylis Njuguna and her team. Asante sana for making time for us.
Thank you. I really appreciate the conversation and
Karibu.
Yeah.
Karibu.
Okay.